What's up, y'all? It's your girl El Rochelle here with Hardwood Diva's Sports News of the Week for Friday, December 13th. Ooh, December 13th, Friday 13th. I'm just joking, y'all. Alright, so first, let's go through a couple of the stories that came out of college football this week. First up, of course, Jameis Winston was not charged with anything. I think we discussed that last week. But because of that, people felt free to go ahead and vote him in for the Heisman. So they did release those Heisman finalists. It was a few of the names that we knew, a few of the names that we weren't too sure of. A.J. McCarron. We knew about Jameis Winston. Then there were, like I said, a few of those that we weren't expecting. So go ahead and check out Hardwood Diva from earlier this week with Heisman finalists listed. You know what to do. I'll put the link in the comments. Then next up, one of the big things that came out this week was an NFL story. And it's actually a couple of stories in a sense. Gronk is now out for the rest of the season because of an ACL and LCL injury. And then also out of the Cardinals, one of my favorite players to watch this year had been Tyrann Mathieu, and I was really, really excited to see his growth. So unfortunately, I was really sad to see he was also out with an ACL and I believe it's an MCL injury. So he'll be done for the rest of the season as well. I'm definitely hoping that the Arizona Cardinals keep that core around him. Patrick Peterson's family, I believe, was very instrumental in helping him. Patrick Peterson himself, and just making sure that he was on the straight and narrow on that right path. So I'm really expecting to see good things from him. So more power to him, and I definitely hope he does well. Also this week, I believe I hadn't happened, like just as I had done my video, I think the story came out that Gary Kubiak had been fired as the head coach of the Texans, and that was crazy. They had not done so well last week, and so after that it was just, okay, he has to go. It was really sad. He did an awesome thing though. He put in this very wonderful one-page article in a Texas newspaper just thanking all of the fans for all their love and support for his family over those 8 years that he was there. A lot of people thought it was a little unceremonious on the Texans' part, especially with what he had gone through earlier this season, but hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So there you have it. Another story as far as injuries go, in a sense, Kobe came back this past weekend. He looked a little rusty. He's looked a little rusty in the couple of games that he's played. And they're definitely going to have to learn how to meld him into this fast-paced offense, especially him being a little bit older. Knees, they feel rejuvenated, but they may not move as quick as they used to. So they're definitely going to have to try and work him into this system. But I always believe that a player like Kobe makes the team better. I believe that they will get to the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to be a high seed, probably a 7 or an 8. But I definitely believe with Kobe, they have more of an opportunity than without him. So, yeah, no, there you have it. Another huge story this week. The never-ending saga that is the Redskins organization. I know quite a few people have gone away from calling them the Redskins because of the negative connotation that it has. It is considered a racial slur. So they say that Washington football team. I'm going to try and do my best. I understand that it is hurtful, and I never want to be a person that is saying something that's hurtful to others. So we'll see. I'm going to do my best, but you know, I've been saying it. So it's going to be tough. I won't lie. But of course, in this drama, Dan Snyder, the owner, the head coach Mike Shanahan, and their star quarterback Robert Griffin III. So everything came to an head after a terrible loss this past weekend. And right before that, a story had come out saying that Mike Shanahan had considered leaving last year, had honestly packed up his office and was prepared to go. There were stories being leaked that he had issues with Dan Snyder's treatment of RG3, his star treatment, picking his wife up in cars, just doing things that he wasn't doing for any of the other players, and he definitely didn't feel that that was okay for their locker room. Didn't want anyone to feel like Robert Griffin III was getting special treatment But, you know, it's a star quarterback. Those sorts of things happen. So, pay attention. Fair or foul question. But one of the things that, then after their loss, he made it quite clear that he wasn't sure if he was going to put RG3 in for the next few weeks. He was saying he was just, you know, in the interest of his off season. Now y'all got 3 more games and you worrying about the off season. I know you ain't gonna win nothing, but come on. So all came to a head this week when RG3 was benched, not just for this week's game, but also for the rest of the season. He was deactivated. Kirk Cousins, their other sophomore quarterback, will be the starter for the rest of the time, and Grossman is going to be his backup. Now, of course, everybody said the right things in the press conference following that news breaking, but we all know there is way more going on. Many people believe Shanahan is just doing this to take a dig at Snyder and to get fired, and unfortunately, he's not going to get his wish, because it looks like Dan Snyder's like, look, I paid you, you going to at least work through the end of the season. May not have you working next season, but you working through the end of this one. So, there's that. Of course, my fair or foul question. When it comes to your star players, whether it's quarterbacks or anything else, especially in football, but I mean, let's be real, it's usually the quarterback. It's not very often, it's somebody else. Is it okay to give them star treatment? Is it okay to do those special things? I think at times, or I think once there's a level reached, then yes. You know, you have a rookie, he's just coming out, and this kid hasn't even gone into his second season. Let's not give him that crazy star treatment, especially because there's veterans that are sitting here like, yo, I've been playing for your team for years. I've been getting tackles. I've been, you know, getting interceptions, catching passes, trucking folks. Why am I not getting any of that treatment? So I can understand how that might mess up a locker room. I do also understand that they're your quarterback, they're your star, and you want to make sure they stay. But let's be real, it's a lot harder to leave and go somewhere else in football. It's not like baseball. Now baseball, you treat them like the stars that they are, because they will leave you. Ask Robinson Cano. They will walk away. They will take all of the money when they do it. So I understand, but I think early on it might be foul. That's just me personally. So, you know. Well, there you guys have it. This week's sports news. Holla at your girl. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to check hardwooddiva.com daily for your news updates. I will talk to y'all later.